Why'd you leave the church? Don't make me ask me, Shay. There's something missing. You can be honest, there was something missing. That's why I left. There was something missing out of the church. It wasn't fulfilling. It didn't give me a feeling to stay. So now what happens? We walk around because the church is supposed to be the symbol of what? What does the church symbolize in our community? It's supposed to be a symbol of. You know? It's supposed to be a symbol of hope, justice, honor, salvation, order. All these things we're expected from the church we'll never get. We don't never know why is it a church on every block, but if the community stay the same. Let me ask you a question. How long you been over here in Chester?
Our whole life.
You said your whole life, right? Has anything ever changed in the ghetto? Even with different presidents, right? It's always been the same ghetto, right? Trash, crime, gang, everything. Read this right here.
Proverbs chapter 13 and verse 12.
I'm gonna show you something, sis.
Hope deferred maketh the heart sick.
What's your name? What she said?
Shay.
Shay. So let me show you something. It says, hope deferred maketh the heart, which is the mind, sick. The hope that we had in society, that we thought something was ever going to change, that we thought maybe the educational system was going to build up great men. Maybe from our parents, through the trauma that they suffered, they was going to build us up to be a nice family household. But we always learn there's always problems in our life, and nobody gives us solutions. So you know what? The hope that we have in society is always destroyed. Read. Yeah, now read. Finish it.
Proverbs chapter 13 and verse 12. Hope deferred maketh the heart sick.
You a Christian, right? You go to church every Sunday? You don't go to church no more? Why'd you leave the church? Don't make me ask me, Shay. There's something missing. You can be honest, there was something missing. That's why I left. There was something missing out of the church. It wasn't fulfilling. It didn't give me a feeling to stay. So now what happens? We walk around because the church is supposed to be the symbol of what? What does the church symbolize in our community? It's supposed to be a symbol of. You know? It's supposed to be a symbol of hope, justice, honor, salvation, order. All these things we're expected from the church we'll never get. We don't never know why is it a church on every block, but if the community stay the same.
Bring it up.
Everybody's reading from the Bible. We should be able to learn from this and then build our families. I'm gonna give you one law, and you tell me, does this help the community? Give me Proverbs 20:13. Exodus 20:13. Sorry. You tell me, does this law help our people, Shay?
Exodus chapter 20 and verse 13. Thou shalt not kill.
Let me ask you this. Thou shalt not kill. That's one of the 10 commandments. With just that law, how much better will our communities be? Much better, right? We will see profound significance in our children coming outside, education rising. We will see more people having more community love for each other. Because what? Thou shalt not kill is being applied. But because that's not applied, because the Christian church is not teaching thou shalt not kill, we come out here, we smoke, we drink, we get angry, and what? We end up shooting somebody, stabbing somebody. Even with the abortions that our women have, because nobody taught our women how to be mothers,
right,
how to be wives.
Right.
Nobody taught the men how to be husbands, how to be fathers. So now we're growing up thinking we are able to raise up children, and we're not. Nobody has prepared us for that. So now what happens? We start to commit murder. We kill a child, or we leave the child off to fend for themselves. But just that one law can help us out. You agree? Read that again.
Exodus chapter 20 and verse 13. Thou shalt not kill.
Read.
thou shalt not commit
Now
adultery.
the second one, excuse me, the seventh one, is thou shalt not commit adultery. How can it help us out? Thou shalt not commit adultery, says. Well, we gotta communicate, we gotta build. So you don't know? Thou shalt not commit adultery. How many single parent households do we have in our community alone? Just the black community. A lot, right? And a lot of that is because what? We go out and club on Friday. We hang out on Saturday. Church has become another club spot. Because nothing's being taught in there, so now what happens? Women are now getting pregnant without having to be married. No husband in the household. So now they come and bring that forth to the man, and he say, yo, I'm not ready to be a father. I don't want that responsibility. You ain't putting that on me. And what happened? The woman is forced now to raise the child of her own. So now she looks for what? The government assistance, child support, welfare, all those things, and the man stays out the household. And we wonder why, 30 years later, the men of this generation is destroyed. Right? I'm gonna give you another one. Do you know who you are according to the Bible? You know your nationality? Like, where you see stuff on the sign right here? Right here, where you see stuff on the sign? It goes by the house of your father. So whatever your father is, that's what you would be. Because the father carries the seed. You know your father? Say it again? You see not on it? Were your father so-called African American? Okay, yeah, so what? The American blacks, it's the same thing. American blacks, you get the so-called African Americans, right? But that right there was changed. That right there, that name right there, that's not biblical. You can't find African American in the Bible.
Bring it out.
Neither can you find that on any map, any location. Nobody on this earth is calling themselves African American. We had to make that up. Why do we have to make that up? We had to make up a nationality for ourselves, an identity for ourselves. Because what? We've lost who we really are. That is why we don't know the laws of thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not commit adultery. Because we've lost that came with it. Give me Jeremiah 17:4.
Bring it out.
I'm going to show you that we still are the greatest people on this earth. But we've lost that. And it's biblical. It's prophesied. Read that.
Jeremiah chapter 17 and verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thy heritage that I gave thee.
What's your name, my brother? Gerald. So you see what? Read that again.
And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave
So
thee.
now we discontinue from our heritage. The heritage is this Bible. We don't even know it anymore. We don't even consider that this is our history. But it is. Our history is all up in the Bible. Even the atrocities that we went through, the trauma that we went through. The single parent household is in there. Our families being taken from us is in there. Us being whipped on our back. Our names being changed. Our nationality being changed is in there. Did you know that, son? Did you know that? Let's read that for him. Deuteronomy 28. Let's get that. I'm going to show you according to the Bible why we don't even call ourselves by the name of Judah, which is biblical. We call ourselves African American. Where do you see yourself, my brother?
Human being.
It's a human being, but it goes by the seed of your father. So where do you see yourself on this sign? If you don't know, that's fine. You don't see yourself? All right. Well, God gave us a sign. I'm going to show you what the signs are. Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice.
Yeah. So now, let me ask you this question. What happened to us in history that was very traumatic, very depressing, and we still suffer from it today? What happened to us? Slaves, right? Slavery happened to us. So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, that happened to us. So now that's That's a historical mark, because that can't be forgotten. And it shows you what? And it shows you, right here. Look, come look at these signs. Say, look at this sign right here. Look at these signs. You tell me. This can't be forgotten in history. This right here is biblical. Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15.
Huh?
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the
Read
Lord
it slow. Read it slow.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day.
So God said, if we didn't hearken or listen to do his commandments, and say we read some of them. What's your name again, my brother? Gerald. We read some of them. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt commit adultery. We read those. He said, if you don't want to follow my commandments,
that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
He said curses are going to come upon us and overtake us. That means it's going to be on the whole nation, not just us individuals, on all of our people. Now let's get that. Let's get this right here. Let's get the slave ships.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
So now look, the Lord say gonna bring you to Egypt again. Who you ever read the Bible? You used to go to church. Sometimes. Are you familiar with what happened in Exodus? What about you, Gerald? Are you familiar with what happened in Exodus? Well, in the time of Exodus, Moses delivered us from Egypt. And Egypt was known for the slavery that he put the Israelites through. That's what Egypt was known. Read.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
So God said, look, when he delivered us out of Egypt, he said, you're not going to go back there to people again. But he just prophesied, said, in the future tense, you're going to go back into Egypt, which means slavery. Egypt and slavery is synonymous. Again, but how you going to get there? Wait, matter of fact, before you read that, how did we leave out of Egypt? You remember? What miracle Moses did that we were left out of Egypt? What did he do? He parted the sea. He parted the sea. And we walked out, right? We walked out. Now let's see what the future prophecy says about this Egypt, this slavery, okay?
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
With what?
With ships.
With what?
With ships.
So God said, look, you're going to go back into slavery again, but this time you're going with ships. You just said it, Gerald. When we left Egypt, we walked out. Moses split the sea, we walked out. God said, this time, you're going to go on slave ships. You're going to go on ships to slavery, yeah?
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
Yeah?
And there,
he said, and there, once you got off them slave ships,
ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
He said, wait, once you got off, you're going to be now sold.
Gentlemen, your attention, I beg. As advertised, we have a fine cargo of choice, healthy slaves recently landed by the Lord Ligonier, largely from the river Gambia. They've made a fine passage and in prime, healthy condition. It's a fine batch up here.
Careful, we don't need more damaged goods now.
All right, first lot, get them out, the gentlemen are waiting, out. Calling your attention to the first item being offered for sale. Now, she's a fine black pearl indeed, gentlemen. She's in fine condition. Who will offer me 100 pounds for this fine wench? Do I hear 100 pounds? Do I hear 100 pounds? We'll start at 50. Ooh, I have 50 over here. 50, give me 55, I'll go 55. I've got 50, 55, give me 60, you'll give me 70, 75, 50. I got a 77 woman, you'll give me an 80 over here. 100, 115 once. Twice. Sold, Sir Robert Calvert of Virginia.
Now, can we remember that? Is that historical? Us getting off of slave ships and being sold? What's that called? Us getting off the slave ships and being sold to our enemies. Right here, look at this. I'm gonna give you a hint right here. What's this? Huh? There was something they called it though. You know what it is, Gerald? Right here, this image right here at the bottom. Nah, we were still slaves. Let me read that part again.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
He said, once you got off the ships, you're going to be sold to the enemies. How did they spend? They think they just gave it away? No, how did they do it? Remember, they had to make a profit. We were the largest income in America. Commodity in America. So how, once we got the ships, they did something. They weren't giving away for free. They sold us what? For a profit. This is an auction block. 45, 36, 72 sold to Master Charles, to Virginia. That's what happened once we got the slave ships. He said, I'm gonna sell you. Okay?
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies, for bondmen and bondwomen.
He said, you're gonna be sold for slave men and slave women, which means what? We weren't indentured. We didn't get paid for this. It was the opposite. They got paid for it.
Right.
They got that slave money still. We don't got that. Look how we live. We didn't get paid for that. Read.
And no man shall buy
She
you.
said, look, once you got them slave ships, once they sold you to your enemies, whether it be Master Charles, who's a Baptist, whether it be Master Jackson, who's a Seventh-day Adventist, once you got off, yeah,
There ye shall be sold unto your enemies. For
remember, these are your enemies. Your enemies came and took you. Your enemies came from Africa, where you was at, and delivered you over to America, to South America, to North America, to Central America, to Jamaica, Haiti, Europe. Your enemies did that to you. Read.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies, for bondmen and bondwomen. And no man shall buy you.
He said, no man gonna buy you. What's that mean? Redeem us. No man is coming around saying, yo, these are my people, let them go.
Right.
No man is coming around, no president, no king is saying, look, these are my people in America, let them go.
Right.
Nobody's ever said that to us. Guess what? That's biblical. That's God saying that because what? We broke his laws.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is you. It's nation time.
And finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord, His word